seeing me on the Joe Rogan Experience, and it's going to be one to remember.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing fine, fantastic. I'm Joshua Ben Joseph, and we at Essentially Sports is delighted to have with us the one and only Terrance T-Wrecks McKinney. He is one of the UFC's most promising prospects and fights in the lightweight division. Not just that, he's fought in many other major promotions like the LFA before signing up with the UFC in 2021. Terrance, truly an honor. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's an honor, man. Yeah, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
That's awesome. How have you been and how's life been treating you?
Honestly, just been blessed, man. Every day, like, I just got to thank you, man, because I couldn't be more happier these days. You know, got enough money to do what I want to do. I got a healthy son. Yeah, couldn't ask for a better gift for my birthday this year.
That is awesome. That is awesome, man. I've actually been wondering, you do have one of the most unique nicknames in the UFC. Like, how did you come up with the name T-Rex with a W?
So originally in high school, I was T-Rex because my wrestling stance was so trash. I'd be standing like a T-Rex because I didn't really know much I was doing. And then we made it T-Rex because, like, I wrecked people. Like, now that it's like part because, like, I was so powerful, you know, and anytime I connect with people, it's such like powerful impact. So we just went with Rex.
Yeah, I must actually say that you've actually taken the lightweight division by storm. So yeah, you are T-Rex. Before I even begin this interview, I actually want to address the elephant in the room. How badly do you want to beat Paddy Pimblett? Because I've been seeing all your memes and I've gotten really curious to know.
I just think fans deserve it, man. We're both got 100% finish rate in the UFC. And I just think it makes sense. And it's going to be one the fans will never forget. Probably fight of the year.
Absolutely. And I think you mentioned that you take him on even at 170. So what would your chances be at that weight?
I think it's just I said 170, man. If he don't take it, man, like I told people, like, he knows scoundrels can get knocked out. He got no excuses. I said welterweight, lightweight, it don't matter. So if he says no now, he's scared.
So what if Paddy is like, you know what, I'm gonna face you in the heavyweight division? Would you take it up?
I'd be like, let's do it. We can meet at 200 pounds. I don't care.
That's the spirit, actually. That is awesome. So you know what, Paddy aside, I want to talk about another person, Joe Rogan. I know you love him because your Twitter pictures with Joe Rogan. How soon can we see you on Joe Rogan's podcast?
I think once I'm ranked, so probably like middle of next year, in the next year, I definitely see me on the Joe Rogan Experience, and it's going to be one to remember.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of legends have actually been there on that. And I do believe, like, once you make it on Joe Rogan's podcast, you're like at that level, you know, like one of the top ones.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of time.
So, since we're talking about the social media scene, I think you and Adrian Yanez would be streaming the UFC 4 game on the 23rd.
Yeah, that's gonna be a sick. We might even record it because I'm in Dallas right now and we're going to Houston tomorrow. So I'll probably just link up with them because I'll have my camera guy with me and just pre-record it and get the ball rolling.
I'm actually going to be one of those people who are going to watch the stream. But it actually also got me curious, like, how soon would a Yanez versus McKinney fight be a reality? Is it a far call?
Never. We're too far in weight class, 2 weight classes apart. If he goes up, and I'm definitely going up because I'm still growing right now, I'll probably end up being 170 pounds by the time my career ends. Maybe even 185. Who knows?
But you did say you'd fight Pimblett at like 200 pounds. That's why.
Yeah, I can get up to 190 sometimes if I'm being fat. So we can both meet at our fat weight, duke it out.
That is true. And since we're talking about Yanez, another thing that I saw was I think you, Yanez, and Aljamain Sterling had this plan to bring Elon Musk into the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, how did you think about that idea? Like, how did that idea come out?
It's just because it'd be cool and it'd be a good raid to get like better sponsors for the fighters, like they did with Mark Zuckerberg. So it just made sense to us, and I think it'd be cool to have Elon Musk in there and meet him and just hear his thought process, because, like I said, he's brilliant.
So, a tiny snippet. Are you hoping for a Tesla if he comes in?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, need a Tesla, you know, where I can do my business and still get the free ride.
Speaking about deals, I think you've been in the news recently, especially after you called out Dwayne Johnson and the UFC's collaboration with Project Rock. So how does addressing this issue help UFC fighters?
That way we're getting money for representing The Rock, because if we're promoting him, we should get a percentage of whatever he's making. I'm not asking for a lot. I just think as the fighters, like, there's boxers getting paid millions, and we're one of the best athletes in the world. We're grappling. Fighters are way more in danger throughout the camp with the grappling and wrestling. So I think, that help us out with our healthcare. We need to pay fans. We need to pay. So I just, like I said, I'm gonna keep advocating for the fighters and get what we deserve.
I mean, the pay disparity is actually kind of confusing, because I think, if I'm not wrong, Tyson Fury was paid 32 million for his fight, while like Francis Ngannou got like maybe 300,000 for the same fight, like for a similar fight in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, which is insane, especially consider how athletic some of the weights are these days. Like, he should be easily getting at least 1 million fighting people like Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
Like, he's fighting probably one of the most athletic heavyweights out there. Just basically like a Tyson Fury, Cyril Gane is. And for him to defeat him, he definitely should be making more than 300K.
So how much do you feel like the fighters in the lightweight division should be paid though?
I think 135 and 155, they should probably get paid a little bit more, since our weight class is a little bit more steep, because like all the fights are pretty close. Like, any guy can get ranked at any time at either of those weight classes. They'll hire the competition to get a sprinkle a little bit extra on there.
So coming back to The Rock, I heard that. I mean, I saw that he ignored your tweet and you were not too happy with it. How did that make you feel though?
As long as getting out there and I'm helping encourage more fighters to speak up, that's the ultimate goal for me, to get us to unize and just come together, because, like I said, it just takes one person to make a difference. So if I can just keep that ball rolling and make a ricochet effect, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to stop speaking how I feel in my heart. I won't shut my mouth for anyone.
So after you called him out, did Dana White or anybody from the organization reach out to The Rock about this?
I don't know, man. That's not my end of the field. I'm just a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, but so you would keep calling out any big names who would actually, just for the sake of the fighters, though, right? You would keep on doing that, right?
I'll keep on doing it. I'm not going to stop.
So, I would actually like to go back a few years, like much before you became the icon that you are, to your childhood. You grew up in Washington and then in Germany for a few years, right?
Yeah. So my mom was in the military, so I traveled a lot. And so, like, I moved a lot, so I was getting mad, because every time I finally make some move friends, I'm finally getting comfortable with them, bam, we're moving. So I'm pissed. I'm getting fights at school. Hey, thank you, brother. So like at first I thought it was because I'm moving, but I think it was some resentment towards my dad leaving that I wasn't quite understanding back in the day, because it was just deeper inside instead of put on the surface. So growing up, I was just mad because reasons that I didn't want to admit, I would say it didn't bother me, but deep down, certain things like that did bother me.
Yeah. And you were also picked on as a kid because you were little, I guess. I've heard you say that somewhere, though.
Yeah. I was 98 pounds my freshman year of high school. I was the runt of the group. Like going in high school, I was probably like 5'4", and like tiny. I was like, I didn't break 100 pounds till I was like mid sophomore year.
Yeah. I mean, so your mom, Kitara Johnson, she raised you as a single parent, right? And
Yeah.
I've heard you call her your pillar of strength. Uh, with your father leaving, how much of an impact did she have in your life?
A ton, because my mom could have been dead and gone. You know, she was in the streets of Chicago, head of the ladies Gangsters Disciple Street Gang. Like my mom got
Oh,
stabbed in the artery, hand broken with a bat. From like have to just to do it all by herself, give me up. Like she made an ultimate sacrifice, gave me to my grandma until she was able to get her life together. When she joined the army, got us all back. To have her master's degree now, and just to be living on top of the hill in a nice house, like that just shows you, man, if you put the work in and you trust in God, that anything's possible. So like if she didn't quit on us, because any kid 16 years old, they could just gave the kid up, be broken, you know, and just assume that this is their life and just chose minimum wage, chose not to be better, and just been comfortable. But my mom always tried for greatness, so she motivated me to do the same.
so how proud are you of your mom? Because what she did is actually something really phenomenal, though. So how proud of you are? Like, how proud are you of her, though?
So proud. Like that's why, like I said, and she's my biggest motivation. She's the one that made me believe in myself, even when I didn't. She used to always tell me, she said, they're only at that spot because you weren't there. And that's just something I always live by. These guys is only ranked because I haven't fought them yet. And that's the mentality that I kept, you know. I'm not a state champ because I wasn't there yet. And I just kept thinking that once I'm there, I'm going to make it happen. And I was able to get 2 state titles and be ranked #1 in college for JUCO, and then #2 in the nation for D2. It's always just like my mom taught me, like if you believe in yourself and trust in God, like I said, because I always got to put God first, or He'll humble you. So that's just like the number one thing for me is just staying humble but having the right confidence, you know.
That
And you
is
got to
true.
be able to risk it all, pretty much.
Yeah, do what you do, especially for what you love. I mean, you should be ready to risk it all, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you started wrestling in the year 2007, if I'm not wrong, right?
2008, I believe.
Eight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were also around that time, I guess, you were also picked on because of your color. In a way, was wrestling like an escape from all this discrimination that you faced?
Yeah. Well, it was because I was in a small town like Davenport. I was the only black kid there. But like I said, I fought a couple times there, you know, because it's the ones that stay quiet, you know. And I put up a fight. I made my mom go to school, and I think we made a huge change there, and I'm glad we did, instead of keeping our mouths shut, you know, and just pushing off under the rug, you know.
Yeah,
Like
I
I tell
mean,
people, make one person make a difference, and we've impacted Davenport in a good way, and made them have to respect us.
and did the demeanor of the people change? You know, like once you start winning all the state titles and stuff like that, did that demeanor
Um,
change?
well, we moved to Spokane, Washington, and it was a lot more diverse out there. Uh, and like I said, I knew my mom wasn't going to be able to afford college, so I knew the same way she did. I just had to work hard, and I had to just figure out what was the best way for me to do it. And wrestling ended up being that foundation that was able to get me to the next level of going to college and making a better opportunity for myself. So at first I sucked, to be honest. And then like I got way better, and I wasn't used to being in the finals. So I'll get in the finals of the tournament and I couldn't even move. I'll freeze up because like I made such like drastic growth. Like, and that's why I tell people, like, you have to believe in yourself. Like, and I was like, and my mom told me, she said, you belong there now, you know? Like, don't think you don't. You for a reason. You wrestle the same tournament they did to get to the finals, just different sides. And then once I started believing in myself, I was able to wrestle in the finals instead of just get pinned.
I've heard your mom say that you wanted to be an Olympic wrestler, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, I did. And then after my near-death experience, God showed me like before my death, I was fighting all these people, and I become like one of the baddest dudes on the planet. And what do you? The UFC. So I was like, okay. And if you win a national title in college, you can get to a bigger organization. So I went back to try to win nationals, and that didn't work out. And then I just jumped right into fighting.
So is that when you decided to transition into MMA?
Yeah, 2017.
Okay. And were you inspired by any UFC fighters or MMA fighters in general?
Yeah, Mike Chiesa, Anderson Silva. I always loved watching UFC. At first, I was scared to do it, to be honest. That's the funny thing. My homie tried to get me to do it in college. I was like, oh, hell no. They're going to try to get me in that twister ankle lock stuff, man. I said, I'm good. I said, but if they want to throw hands, I'm down. Give me a boxing match.
Speaking of Anderson Silva, are you actually going to watch his match? I think he's going to fight Jake Paul. Are you actually going to watch that fight?
Anderson, yeah, but I feel like that stuff's rigged, man. But also, he has put in the work, so I respect that. And at the same time, I think youth is going to be on his side. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jake does knock him out because the dude's a big dude. I can't lie on that.
Mm-hmm. That is true. And so I would like to go back a little more before you transition into the MMA. Like back in 2015, you had a near-death experience. How did it change you as a person? Because I know it was like a turning point in your life.
Just seeing my stuff out there. I was embarrassed for myself, because I usually hold myself to higher standards, and I didn't want to be seen out there looking like I'm a junkie or anything like that. So I had some real digging deep to do, and then at the end, God ended up making it a blessing. And now that story's out here changing lives and people reaching out, and I'm able to give them encouraging words to help them push through. So like I said, even in the darkest times, there's always light. And that's why I trust in God so much, because something that I was so embarrassed about, he made a huge blessing in my life.
Yeah, and I must say it's been like one of the best redemptions in the sporting world, because from what people saw back in 2015 to what you are now, it's been one of the best redemption arcs, I must say though. And did your mom say anything about like when that happened? Did your mom have something to say at that time though?
She just told me she just expected more from me. And she said, "What you better do whatever you gotta do. You better cry, whatever you do. You better apologize to them cops, because she knows I would have got any felonies as a black man. That's pretty much life over, And I didn't want it. She didn't want me to get in that cycle of just having to do stuff to survive. So I had to dig deep, pray. I was praying, like I said, I was praying left and right. I was like, God, please, because I needed a miracle at that time, because I injured 4 cops. It was not looking too hot for me.
Yeah. And so after the incident, I mean, did you put yourself completely into training, or was there anything else that you did at that time though?
Like I said, I put my all in this. I went to Notre Dame College. I ended up wrestling this guy, Juwan Edelman, and I beat him 7-6, and he ended up taking second at nationals that year. But I thought I was going to be able to get eligible and wrestle at nationals the next semester, but that wasn't the case. They wanted me to sit out and then wrestle next year, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to wrestle one more year, one final goal, win nationals, and then start fighting. So I dropped out of school after that, and then that's where it all began. In my first fight, I knocked the dude out in 18 seconds, and then I was hooked after that.
Oh yes, actually, your debut match had one of the fastest finishes in lightweight history, right? How did it make you feel though? Because it's your very first match with the organization, and all of a sudden, you just broke a record.
I knew God was with me that night. 7 seconds. I always say this: 7 seconds create the earth. 7 seconds to put him in to sleep. Can't tell me God wasn't there with me that night.
Yes. And so when did UFC come into the picture? Like, I mean, after you transitioned into MMA, like when did the UFC come into this picture?
Probably 2019. I fought on Contender Series. I lost there, but I wasn't discouraged because someone told me, if they wanted you then, they'll want you later. So I was like, all right, I just got to bounce back hard and show them why I still belong there. And that's what we did. We picked the right fights, got the job done. I trusted the process God had for me, and that experience helped humble me and made me realize the stuff I need to work on. And now we're the complete fighter, and I'm ready to run it up, man, until we get the UFC belt.
Yeah. So, talking about one of the superstars of UFC, Conor McGregor is ranked 14 in the lightweight division. Can we see, as a wrestling dominant fighter, can we see you face Conor McGregor anytime soon? Because I believe you deserve a spot in the top 15.
Hey, that's what I've been thinking about, man. If I play this all right, I could be fighting Conor McGregor next year, like in September, October. And that'd be, like I said, it's take off after that. Put me in a rocket, red pennies night, baby. Let's go.
I mean, you should be doing that pretty fast because, I've heard Jake Paul's been calling him out multiple times now.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, later, brother. Jake Paul want to be Conor McGregor so bad. It's disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the lightweight title has been lying vacant for quite some time. Can we see you fight for the title anytime soon?
I'm thinking 2014, we fight for the belt. And I don't care who it is. Like I said, this is all God's doing, man, and they can't stop what he has planned. There might be some bump in the road, but I know at the end of the day, that belt will be mine. I seen it. And like I said, I just got to work, stay consistent, stay humble, and exalt God. And
Yeah.
it's going to come.
So, other than Paddy Pimblett, do you have any dream opponents that you wish to face? Like, okay, Conor McGregor is another one, but any other opponent that you wish to face?
Jim Miller, Grant Dawson would be cool. Joe Selesky. I did want Mark Madsen, but he's taken. Anyone, honestly, I really care. I just really do. I really love fighting. Anyone that says yes, thank you so much. I'll show them love after. It's just what I do, win or defeat. We're all just fighting for something better for our family, so it's nothing but respect.
So, tiny snippet. How soon can we see you fight again, though?
You guys should expect me to be fighting in November or December. And this next fight, I'm only going for a knockout, but I'm going to pace myself. But we're putting someone unconscious, so you guys get excited.
All right, a flatliner indeed. Yeah. So I actually have a pretty interesting, a section prepared, like a rapid fire.
Yeah.
We do have a few interesting fights coming up in the near future. So I want you to give a prediction on who the winner would be.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's actually make it a little bit more interesting. I want you to actually make a prediction on if they'd win by knockout or by decision or by submission.
All right, let's get it.
All right, there's Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev.
I got Charles Oliveira, 3rd round knockout.
3rd round, okay. I mean, that was very specific. 3rd round. I mean, so you feel like he'll play around for the first 2 rounds, and then 3rd round is when he's going to go for the finish, though.
Yeah, I think he's going to show submission threats, and they have to stand up. And I see him hitting Islam clean and hard and TKOing him out.
Then there's Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira.
That's a banger. I see that just being a striking affair. And I think Izzy's just a little bit more athletic. I saw their last fight. It's not like Pereira was better than him. He just got a clean hit. So I'm going to have to go with Izzy. I think he's just a lot cleaner, and he knows the MMA world. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's a 4th round submission, Israel Adesanya.
So style bender by submission for that fight.
Yeah, 4th round.
All right. Oh, then there's another one. There's Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw.
I think we see the snake get wrapped. You know, I got Aljamain, the back catcher, getting it done. And I see that one going to decision. Like I said, those fights are just inches apart in the 135 division. Like any right style or any right matchup, anyone can get the belt out there. So, but I'm going with Aljamain, split decision.
So the last one is actually pretty interesting. I like one of those people. I'm not going to say who I like in that, but Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley. I actually like one of those people, so I hope you pick that person. So
I hope it's Peter Yan because that's who I'm going with. I think he's a veteran in the sport. He's disciplined. He does things right, and I think that's a huge role if it goes to a later round. And I see just showing that there's levels to it. Unanimous decision, easy, or a KO, 4th to 3rd round, Peter Yan.
I had the same pick actually. I like Sean.
Let's go.
Yeah. So in closing, actually, do you have any special message for your fans? Because I'm sure a lot of them are actually waiting to see you perform soon.
I just want you guys to remember, like I tell people, in the darkest places, that's when you find the brightest light. So just make sure you keep pushing forward and just never give up, man. Because like I said, that bright light, when you get there, it's going to be so satisfying when you see all those obstacles you dodged in the dark and you're able to get to that light and get to your blessings, man. Like I said, it's going to be all worth it. I just want to see you guys be your best, do your best, and keep striving for greatness, man. Like I said, if you guys going through those trials, it's because the devil wants you to quit, man. And don't quit, man. Don't let him win because you obviously got a blessing in your life. That's why he wants to make it hard for you.
And maybe one line for all those people who've always, ever doubted you as such, though. Do you have one line for them?
Mark my word, 2024, the UFC strap will be around my waist. And like I said, I can't wait to hang it up in my gym in my hometown for the city. Let's go.
And we're actually hoping to see you with the belt in the year 2024. Thank you so much, Terrance, for taking the time out to talk to us. It is truly an honor. And I wish you all the best for your future fights.
Hey, thank you, brother. And God bless, man.
Thank you so much.